Hi, my name is Michael Lynch. I live and work here in Belfast in Northern Ireland. I've been fortunate to work in the tourism industry for the last 10 years. Fortunately, being born in 1995, I don't remember the signing of the 1998 Good Friday Belfast Agreement. However, living and working here in Belfast means that I hear so many stories of what life was like pre the agreement. I can remember my mum telling me stories of what it was like to even come into Belfast city centre and the checkpoints that existed here. I remember hearing stories of whenever US President Bill Clinton came here around that time to switch on the Christmas lights and what a momentous occasion that was. Fortunately though, the Belfast that I live in now is a very different place and a very prosperous place. So I've really only seen the benefits of the agreement and the benefits of the prosperity of the last 25 years. I have a vested interest here for multiple reasons. The joy of seeing people that come here with maybe somewhat of a negative expectation, and then their expectation being completely transformed, and they see how this place is welcoming, they see how this place has changed and transformed over the past 25 years post-agreement. I hear those stories of what it was like to live and work in Belfast 20, 30, 40 years ago, and I recognise that's not the place that I live in today. That idea that you're now in a place that is prosperous and that is full of ambition, and being part of that story is really exciting. One of my family members worked in the Europe Hotel in the early 80s. She tells me about all the celebrities that she managed to meet then, because that was the only hotel that was in Belfast city centre. Now Belfast has thousands of hotel rooms, and sometimes during the summer it's really difficult to get a hotel room. That transformation over the past 30 years is just remarkable. That was the landscape here, and now this is the landscape. It makes me very privileged to live in the place that I do now. I think we have witnessed an influx of people coming here to Belfast in Northern Ireland, and that is testament to, again, the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. You can walk around Belfast city centre, or even if you go to the northwest, you'll be able to see blue chip firms that have decided to headquarter or establish an office here. These blue chip firms, again, wouldn't have existed here 20, 30 years ago. So it is testament to the fact that large organisations have recognised that there is a huge amount of potential in Northern Ireland. We have a very complex schooling estate in Northern Ireland. Integrated education was set up on a very basic principle. It was those from a Catholic faith, a Protestant faith, and then those from other faiths or no faith were able to be educated in a classroom and fundamentally educated together. The Good Friday Agreement put in a principle around helping the provision of integrated education in Northern Ireland. I went to an integrated school at the age of 11, and in that school I remember on the first day I sat beside someone from a completely different background. This isn't someone I would have really ever met before, but here we're starting on this new school journey together. When you have children coming from all different communities and being educated in one classroom together, you realise that there's actually more that you have in common that you have that is different. And I think that is fundamental of being educated in the same classroom together. I think Brexit has certainly changed the calibre of debate in Northern Ireland, and that's across multiple areas. We need to be very careful around how leaving the European Union will impact on communities. We have certainly seen some challenging circumstances arise within communities, and I think fundamentally that does stem from Brexit. People are really worried around issues such as health, education, cost of living, but we don't have a functioning government. We don't have an assembly sitting at the minute, and the root cause of the fact that we don't have an assembly sitting is the fact that we voted to leave the European Union. Speaking to people that witnessed the signing of the Good Friday Agreement, they wouldn't recognise Belfast as it is today. I've been very fortunate to welcome some people back to Belfast that haven't been here over the past few decades, and they walk around here and they talk about a reimagined Belfast. They have asked me where the checkpoints are. Like this is a very different place, and that is anything from the level of economic prosperity that exists here and the investment that's come in, the business that's here, the buzz that exists. You can walk through the Cathedral Quarter in Belfast and it's electric. That wouldn't have existed back 25 years ago. And that's all part and parcel from signing the Good Friday Agreement.
And lastly, what are your hopes for the next 25 years?
I often use the same analogy. So look to the Titanic story. Over 100 years ago, it was this small little industrial city, but it was driven by big ambition. We played a huge part in the shipbuilding industry, the tobacco industry, the linen industry, and others. We've had that lapse over the last number of decades, but now, 100 years on from whenever Titanic and her sister ships set sail from here in Belfast, that same hope, ambition for prosperity, that is now accumulating for the next 100 years ahead.